Hey, what's up, everybody? Kind of want to talk about this week's comics, share my thoughts on them, and it's another solid week. Some highs, some lows, but overall, it was a very solid week of comics. So let's jump right in here. We're going to start with Black Science number 24. This actually came out last week, but just got it this week, and this is probably one of the. It's been like maybe 3 or 4 issues, but this issue kind of steered it back to where I'm enjoying it. I enjoy the Grant and meeting back up with Pia and kind of seeing what she's been up to. Um, and there's some moments in here that were pretty awesome. Um, Basically, Grant and Pia are back, and they're going to search for the rest of the crew and especially Nate. And they take a detour, back home, and that kind of opens up. I mean, for what they're teasing through the at the end of this issue, it's gonna be another downhill um, moment for Grant, and to see how he gets out of this, coming back home and having to face his boss, and there's some characters that we haven't seen in a while that are back in the fray, and I think I'm kind of rejuvenated in my kind of in like it's kind of the this issue was definitely the jolt that I needed to kind of get back into this comic. Um, so yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with this. It's definitely opens up a can of worms that Grant thought that he got out of just by going home and just bringing Pia home, but everything's almost. It looks like it's about to fall apart for him again, and we'll see what's gonna happen. All right, so that's my only indie book. We'll dive into Marvel. I'll talk briefly about Civil War #2, issue 5. Long delay. Um, I don't know. It's okay. Pretty much. I mean, this is centered around this character, Inhuman. His name is Ulysses, and he has these premonitions. And Captain Marvel and Iron Man have been basically fighting over him. Captain Marvel wants to use him to, stop events before they happen. But Iron Man is, telling Captain Marvel why do we? I know we're stopping these events, but we're basically profiling people before they even do stuff. And there's that whole dynamic there, which is kind of the central point of the Civil War comic. And at the end, you have this Ulysses has another premonition, and it kind of threw me. Um, it kind of shocked me. If that's the reaction that they were looking for, they definitely got it. But I don't know. I feel like it's these premonitions are becoming repetitive. Even though that is the point, it's just this one is just like, really, like, how is this even gonna happen? Um, but yeah, it's okay for what it is. It's an event book. I don't even know when the next issue is gonna come out, if it's gonna be delayed or not. But you know, It's okay. It's an okay comic. Next, we're talking Vision. Vision #11. This is the second to the last issue, and I am gonna be totally sad that this book is finishing up. This has definitely been one of my favorite series of the year, and this issue was just amazing. It was basically the Vision going after his brother, who the Avengers have captive right now, and it's basically the Vision and the Avengers fighting. Um, and it's just the little subtle things, like, you know, um, if you read in the letters pages, there were direct quotes from Avengers 57 and 58 throughout the battle while they were fighting, and like kind of introducing like Vision for the first time when Ultron created him. And there was just some really, you know, Tom King just knows how to do like these subtle moments, like this the confront basically Virginia telling her daughter about what happened, and just her going ballistic. Even the repeating, the 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 repeating of the words, where it's just those subtle touches that really just kind of get you in that mode of the drama of what's going on, and Walta just kind of just taking that and making it its own. Um, it's just great. I've been like kind of which is pretty cool. I don't know if this was meant to be like one of those things here. It's been, I don't know if I missed it or not, but they had like the Omega Unknown, the movie, and I was just like, Omega Man maybe. Um, so yeah, maybe that's a slight nod to it. Maybe I'm just overlooking that, but um, this is like yeah, I love this panel here too. Has the Omega symbol. So I mean, I don't know if I'm reading too much into that, but I enjoy this comic a lot. It's just been one of those great reads, and definitely worth checking out, worth putting on your radar. Um, the first trade's out, so definitely read up on that. So we're gonna jump into DC here. Before we go into Rebirth, we got another DC book that's not part of the Rebirth tag. Injustice: Gods Among Us, Year 5, number 18. Pretty much this is a Deathstroke issue. Deathstroke has been hired by Batman and Lex to capture or get this artifact that will kind of start the plan that they have set in motion. And the plan they have set in motion is pretty big. It sounds like one of those plans that's like, if this doesn't work, then nothing else will work. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty cool issue. Deathstroke just infiltrating the regime's hideout to get the artifact. There was a fight with Metamorpho, was pretty awesome. So yeah, this comic just keeps chugging along, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So, all right, so on to Rebirth. We're gonna start with the first crossover, the Monster Men crossover, Batman and Nightwing. So there's this part 1 and part 2, and just to say out front, I mean, I have low expectations for this crossover. I was really hoping after, before reading these 2 issues, I had my mindset. I was just like, hey, you have a chance to kind of get me back into good graces with this storyline. And I mean, you have two issues to do it, and I don't know. I'm still on the fence with this. I'm still in the low expectations. Nothing really kind of gravitated towards me where I'm just like, I'm excited to read this. I mean, one of the standouts was just having Riley Rosmo do some art. I mean, him drawing some monsters is pretty cool. But pretty much, I mean, you kind of start with these 4 people, and then they just kind of turn into monsters, and they think Hugo Strange is behind it all, and they're basically evacuating the city. They're explaining that the 0 year is going to be, or the flood's going to be bigger than 0 year, hyping up the storm and stuff like that. In Nightwing, it's kind of about the same. I mean, it's Nightwing just figuring out, doing some detective work, and we kind of figure out who these 4 characters were, or these 4 people in the morgue that turned into these monsters, and it kind of tied back into that. But I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, to be honest, the art was kind of the highlight for me. Riley Rosmo and Antonio doing Nightwing, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it's just you know the Bat family fighting some monsters. Um, I mean, we're just basically a third of the way through. Hopefully, these next four issues kind of gets me energized for this crossover. But yes, it didn't move the needle for me. So, all right, next we're talking Green Lanterns. This is issue number 7. Um, this was kind of like a fill-in issue. I mean, it does say Part 1 Family Matters, so this is the start of a new arc. But pretty much, I mean, it's kind of central to Simon and Jessica's relationship, and we get to know a little bit more about Simon and his backstory and his relationship with his mom and how that basically affects him and stuff like that. And basically why you know he gives reasons why they've had struggles and why he looks up to her so much and stuff like that. It was a pretty pretty straightforward issue. I mean, there were definitely some character moments here, especially between Simon and Jessica, which is Sam Humphries really knows how to deliver. There were some nice funny parts. Basically, I guess the, I forgot the kid's name, but Rami. So basically, he's basically sneaking up on the Guardian, and I don't know if you see this bottom panel here, but he just basically touches his nose and he says "boop." So that was just like that was it. I started laughing, but yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward issue. At the end, we kind of see who the next, I guess, villains are going to be chasing after this rogue Guardian. But another solid issue of Green Lanterns. And finally, Superman number 7. I love this comic to death. It is, I'm man, this book was just awesome. This was a standard fill-in issue. It's basically the family going to the county fair and just having a good time, and Superman doing Superman things. It was just, man, it was a good time. I mean, I really love Jorge Jimenez's art. I would definitely want him on a book. I want him on Superman, because especially on this book, because he just knows how to just draw Clark, and he just knows how to draw. I mean, I don't know. I just can't explain how much I enjoy this book, even though this was a fill-in issue. It just has those beats that I really enjoy. The family aspect, them just getting acquainted with different people, getting them to kind of not become more secluded and just starting to become part of the community. And they're also teasing that Clark and Lois are going to get a job at the newspaper. And I love this final part here. Man, like this, I mean, yeah, when the last part on the roller coaster and how the comic ended was just, it's fitting. I mean, Peter Tomasi, he's been writing Superman for quite a while. I mean, he's written Superman, Wonder Woman before diving into Rebirth with the Superman title. So he definitely knows the character. I mean, even though this is a new Clark, a different Clark, but I mean, they're just hitting all the beats that I really enjoy. The art is spectacular, and it's just something I love. Like there was nothing bad about this comic. It was great. It's definitely number 1 best comic of the week for me. And the second place was probably Vision. But yeah, those are all my books this week. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your comments down below, how you feel about some of the books that I talked about. Was there anything different that you liked? that I missed out on. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. More videos coming soon, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.